Jean-Laurent, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank
We
you
are
very
very
much.
excited to have you. And we wanted to ask you to share a little bit about your journey and how did you arrive at today? Your career has, can you share us with us?
And then I think was it last year, Mr. Supranational?
Yes, I did participated in for the Mr. Supranational competition, which took place in Poland in July 2022. I couldn't go in 2021 due to COVID restriction, borders being closed and everything, so it was a bit risky. So we decided with the national director to go last year. It was a very, very interesting event. And there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But maybe tell us about your journey.
So basically, I just turned 32 last week. Well, I've tried a lot of stuff. I'm a sports enthusiast at first. I like to learn new skills. I always like to challenge myself. And at first, I didn't know. I knew I was gonna be doing something related to sports or coaching or being an athlete. I don't know, but I wasn't sure of that. Basically, when you're 18, 20 years old, you still don't know. Even though you think you have a career path in your head, but you don't know. You have to try stuff, and see if you like it this way or you just change. So I've studied a lot of different things, from marketing to management to sports management to sports nutrition, training, exercise science, and which led me to today. I started when I came back to Mauritius in 2014 after completing my master's degree in sports science and nutrition, also sports management. Fitness the boom of fitness didn't really started, so I had to work somehow in a corporate to get more experience in networking. That was the first step. But I inevitably knew that I was going to be an entrepreneur and start my own business at some point. I was trying to get as much experience as possible, and then as from the age of 28, I was getting a lot of requests from clients that I was coaching after hours. So I had very hectic week, like 70, 80 hours of work per week, but it was good. I mean, when you're young, you can still do it. You don't have that many responsibilities. You don't have wives or kids. Well, for me, the priority was for me to work and get more experience, and start my own business with the less risk as possible.
Okay.
So which I did by a couple of years back, and then the only way for us to market ourselves and our skills was to be active on social media. So that's what I started doing in 2016, 17. I started showing clients training and how basically what is a daily what I do on a daily basis. What I eat, how I train, what do I prioritize in my daily lifestyles, and this come to today. Well, I didn't know I was going to be a social media influencer because it wasn't really a thing back then. You were just sharing what you were doing.
Yeah, it's not like you started out with that in mind.
Yeah, it's different, and I had a couple of brands who reached out to me asking if I could represent or push for their product because I fitted well in their line of thinking and their views about health, wellness, and fitness. So this is where it all started, and going forward, and it's now a major part of my job. I mean, like, as much as I like training clients and looking after them, I also have a lot of social media campaigns. Well, I know it won't be forever, but I'm trying my best right now.
Yeah, for now it's exciting.
Yeah,
that's great.
and the Mr. Supranational competition was really something I didn't plan. I was asked by the national director back then to to try and participate because my profile suited well to the Mr. Supranational like typical male pageant, and it wasn't only based on the looks and everything, but more of what you've done through your career, how much you've helped people, or like basically sharing your journey of how you've impacted people's life in a positive way. So that was a very fruitful and interesting competition. I met a lot of genuine and really top guys. Like you can't even imagine. Like I've met a lot of really important people in my life, but these guys, so skillful, so like they basically can do everything.
So, Jean-Laurent, the theme for our podcast is actually happiness.
Okay.
So, you being a sportsman and you said you are a fitness coach, how has that framed your perspective on happiness?
I think happiness is a daily habit that you cultivate, and I think it starts by being healthy in your mind and also in your body, and having these daily rituals that prioritize yourself, where you put yourself as a priority, and when you understand that we are not here for a long run, like, but you still have to take care of yourself and make sure that you live youthful for the longest time as possible. Mm-hmm. So I think happiness is one of the major parts, because you cannot somehow work out or do things if you're not happy in your head. You have to. There has to be a purpose behind. Either staying fit for your family, your kids, because your fitness goal eventually changes with time.
There's this saying, a healthy mind for a healthy body, and like it links to what you were just saying before. How intertwined are these two things?
I would say there's the saying sound mind, sound body. These are intertwined because what you reflect exactly from the inside to the outside, and your mental health there's a big correlation between your mental health and your physical health, in terms of, first of all, having the self-respect to take care of yourself, and people will actually take you seriously. This is something I've learned through the years, and when you show people that you care about yourself, and you care about your health and what you eat, and exercising somehow, not becoming a fitness model, but at least staying fit for any personal goals that you have, it shows on your mental state, and it improves your mood, your daily mood, your productivity at work, and you're so much more efficient in your daily task just by being fit and eating healthy. Of course, you look younger. This is one of the main thing, but you are capable of doing so much more compared to someone who doesn't prioritize one of these whichever, nutrition or like eating healthy or exercising. It becomes hard. With time, it becomes harder.
Yeah. Have you seen people come to you maybe unhappy and saying that I want to get fit, and they're unhappy, but as they progress through the fitness practice or routine or whatever program you've got them on, they start feeling happiness?
Definitely, because at first they're a bit lost. They come to me seeking for help. They don't know where to start. They don't know what changes they should bring to their daily lifestyle. So I'm trying to help. This is very individual coaching. I try to understand where are the let's say the roadblocks, and what can be an issue, and I try to adapt to their lifestyle. Some of them are active young moms. they have 2 kids, or some of them work morning shift, night shift, or they don't have a lot of budget for the food, but they still want to eat healthy. So I take in consideration everything, and I try to set up a plan for them that they will stick to. Because the best plan, whichever fitness or nutrition, is the one you can stick to. Okay, so as from then you can see the clients progress in terms of course. Most of them, they come to me because like they haven't been active for years, and they want to lose some body fat, and get stronger and improve their fitness. And as the weeks go by, you can see that they start getting compliments from their relatives, their co-workers. It starts improving their mood, because they realize, oh, okay, I'm doing something for me, and people can actually see that they're getting compliments. Oh, you look fit, you look younger. Oh, you lost some weight. This is the start, actually. And then it gets really, really addictive, because you can see how capable you are of doing things that you thought you were not able to do. For example, I had a client who couldn't walk more than 5 minutes without having cramps or being out of breath, just going upstairs, Yesterday he sent me a message. He ran his first 10 kilometers after 6 months. Of course, we had to start from scratch, and he said to me, yes, everything has improved in his daily lifestyle, from the way people look at him, his wife, his sexual life, everything, like, and he had to change all his clothes, but well, that's a good problem.
Yeah.
He went from a 2XL to a size medium, from 110 kilos to 82 kilos. Yeah. And now, like I told him at first, this is the first part of the transformation. Now, as you get more advanced, you decide if ever you want to just stay fit, or you can now have some more precise fitness goal. It all starts with having a purpose and understanding that you won't be able to party every weekend and drink 4 times a week, and not prepping your meal not cooking your meal, not having a basic understanding of at least going out or doing something for yourself, reading, all comes together, and they understand by themselves, basically, and I'm here to help and guide them.
But Jean-Laurent, wouldn't you say it's a little shallow that people associate happiness with, the way they look? And if that's the only reason to do fitness, is that not, defeating what really happiness should be about?
Happiness comes from the inside, but when you don't feel good in your body, in terms of self-image and maybe some negative comments that you get from, because we are social people.
Yep.
We live
you can't
together. You cannot
from
dissociate.
society.
You cannot live on your own. And when every day you realize that you feel sluggish, you feel sleepy every time, you don't feel productive, you're always complaining and moody, and it's because something's missing. And there's been so many studies showing that what you eat impacts how you feel and how you look. Exercising with the increase of dopamine and hormone regulation helps you, of course, lose weight, but keeps you youthful.
Yeah.
Your skin, your hair, everything, compared to someone who doesn't exercise. You can, and by the time goes, you look 10 years, 15, 20 years younger than someone who was born the same year but who didn't do anything.
What would you say when people say that they're too busy to exercise, or they don't have time, or they don't have the energy?
I think they wish they could prioritize, but they for them, they start realizing that they have to make a move when there's already medical issues coming, or I guess it's all a matter of priority. You know, I've been training pregnant women, guys working morning shift, night shift, 15 hours a day, and young moms with kids who woke up at 5 to train, and then we're back home at 6 in the afternoon, then meal prepping at night. It's hard, but somehow you have to choose your heart. You have to choose whether you want to be fit and have a good health, or bear the consequences of neglecting your health and reaching 45, 50 and getting also all sorts of unhealthy medical
Problems.
conditions.
I like that. Choose your hard.
Yeah,
The-
it is going to be hard, but I mean, there's a whole spectrum that you don't have to go this no pain, no gain thing. You have, it's small daily habits that you, just like drinking more water, slowing down a bit on the alcohol and fast food, and at least getting your steps every day, 30 minutes. It can be just going to the gym or just walking with your wife or husband, or playing with the kids, you know, or your dogs. It starts with that, and then you see that it's not that hard. And then I understand that some people, they don't like to train, or they train just solely for the fact that they want to look good. It shouldn't be the case. I understand most people do it because of what they see on social media. They want to be seen. They want to be part of the fit community. But I, as a coach, have to tell them that you shouldn't aim to be like this guy, because this guy or this lady, because you don't know his life. You know, if he or she has a limited time to train, and you have to manage two daily jobs and your kids and pay your rent. I mean, you cannot compare to somebody who is not in your shoes, but you can still take decisions to reach a certain point where, you know.
And like you said before, fitness goes beyond just looking good. I mean, it's got health, it's got motivation for even, you know, being efficient at work, but also this feeling of accomplishment. Like you were saying, this guy who's running marathon, he was, you know, 110 kilos or whatever.
Not yet
80.
marathon, but 10K.
Mini marathon. Or
That's a marathon for us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a
No,
lot.
but it's an amazing feeling that you get, that you've been able to conquer something which was unknown and, you know, unachievable before.
And I remember all the steps. They said, you know, when he got under 100 kilos, he said, I don't even remember when I was when my weight was under 100 kilos. I think it was back in high school. I said, well, this is just the beginning, you know. And then you see that, okay, well, he understands and he realizes that I'm capable of doing so much more, and the impact it has for his surrounding and relatives. Like sometimes I've been coaching a husband or wife, and it directly affected how the kids or the wife or husband actually started behaving, you know, because when you show the right example, they follow.
Yeah.
They follow.
They're inspired. Yeah.
When you exercise, when you're someone who stays active and exercise with your kids around, and your kids see you, well, more chance you have, you're gonna have healthy kids. And the opposite is also the same. When you're really overweight and you eat everything you like, and you don't really prioritize, you don't teach the right things from the start. Well, this is why you get 15, 18 years old kids, I would say, which are morbidly obese, because I mean they don't know, or they don't realize. For them, it's not really that important until it's maybe too hard, let's say, too late.
You said too hard, and in fact, you said it before, and no pain, no gain. it brought me back to when I was 15 or 16. It was the first gym that me and my friends went to, and it had these words, no pain, no gain, you know, lay basically on the wall as you're going through all the weights and treadmill and stuff, and this is what basically you have to work towards. And I think to myself, does it have to be that hard?
It doesn't, because when you say no pain, no gain, it means that it, it it's really the stereotype of the person who has to work out three hours a day every day of the week, and it's still up to now people ask me, but how many times do you work out? It's much harder to transform, like the first few weeks and months, transform into the first steps of becoming fit than to maintain your fitness. Because as the daily habits and good lifestyle habits are here, it's much easier to maintain. You know, as I said, you don't have to become the biggest well-known fitness model on social media, but the no pain no gain philosophy is a bit outdated. It was back in the days when people didn't understand that somehow when you do too much, you can actually get, I would say the right word, disgusted by fitness. Actually, I know some people who went back to doing nothing just because they were pushed too hard,
Yeah.
either by
You
their
give
friends. You give up because and they were fit, they were looking great, but they were always comparing themselves to others, and not seeing that, well, I've done so much more for me and I've improved so much in like the last 5 years, but they are always in this comparison.
They lost their joy
They
from
lost
it.
their joy, and they're actually doing it just for the sake of doing it. And as the responsibilities come to you, the more stuff you have to do, and then someday you say, well, I can't cope with everything at the same time, and then I just give up. Then this is the last thing you should give.
Yeah. And if people are watching today and thinking, you know, I have half an hour, let's say, every day that I feel that I can commit to fitness, how do I even start? Do I need to get a personal trainer?
Basically, you have a lot of fitness content available on the internet, on YouTube.
But there's so much,
There's
and like,
so
what
much.
to
I
choose to
understand.
begin
Some are
with?
more for the clicks and the views than they are effective, to be honest. But at first, if you know a reliable fitness coach who understands the whole aspect of health, fitness, and wellness, you can seek for help and ask for some guidelines to start. Because 30 minutes is fine. I've training clients during COVID online, which was something new for me.
Sure.
But we have to adapt to the circumstances of staying at home. But still, they've done the work, and even 30 minutes or 45 minutes in the morning, first thing, and they felt great. You know, they know. I ask them every time to start with the hardest thing first in the morning. I understand that some of them have kids. They have to look after their kids first.
Can't tell the baby, stop
or
crying, I need to do
sometimes
this.
it has to be teamwork, you know.
Yeah.
The husband looks after the kid, the wife exercise, or vice versa. But 30 minutes is fine. It's fine to start with. You just, if you have some stationary cardio machine at home, just rope skipping, doing just a light jogging. It's for like to start with. It's really good. There's a lot of body weight exercises you can do at home. Basic one: push-ups, squats, lunges. That you don't need any fancy equipments. Like I said, I've trained clients. Of course, it's not the optimal way, but if you're always looking for the optimal way and the best equipment and the best tools to train, you're not going to progress.
Sure.
This is up when you reach a certain level of detail. When you're really intermediate to advanced, then you can then you say, okay, well, I'm not going to make any progress if I don't train that hard, or I don't have these equipments available. But for the regular person, just these basic things will actually work.
It's really cool. And what daily habits would you say are your go-to for helping you to keep your sense of filling up your happiness tank, I guess?
First thing is I prioritize my sleep.
Okay.
My
I didn't
yeah,
expect that.
my
Okay.
sleep is my mood enhancer, and of course it's very good for. It's the most important thing for performance and not having cravings and everything. But thing is, when you have to keep up with days of 15 hours of work, from training clients at 6 in the morning to meetings and going and social media campaigns, you have to make sure that you eat on time and you sleep at least 8 hours. I try to go to sleep early, and as from then, this is my kickstart, because I've tried the working hard till midnight and then relying on coffee in the morning. It helps somehow, but it's not sustainable.
It's like a one-off
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
one.
thing.
It can help. Of course, it will happen because you have some emergency. You have to work on a new project. That you cannot make sure that every day you go to bed at 9:30 or 10. It's especially now. It's very very difficult when you have a family life. But I try to do it so that I'm awake early in the morning. It's quiet. I do my morning ritual. If I need to prep my food, I can't usually train in the morning because I put my clients first. I focus on them, so they want me to be available for them before they leave to work. So they come to the studio for personal training, or I go to the gym. And this is my duty as a personal trainer. And then I will train maybe later in the afternoon. But it's compulsory. I will make sure to train at least 4 to 5 times a week. It's easier when you have your gym at home. Definitely, definitely.
And you mentioned something before about maintaining the routine after, let's say, you've achieved the weight loss that you wanted, or the fitness kind of level that you wanted. Is that hard? Is that not hard to do, like 4 or 5 times gyms per week when, let's say, you're going on holidays, when you have something hectic at work going on, and you want to still prioritize, but the reality of life sinks in?
The thing is, strength, health, and fitness in general, you don't lose your gains within a few weeks of just taking it easy and going on holidays with your family. Of course, you allow yourself to eat a little bit more, sleep late at night, but it's not like you're gonna lose it within a few weeks or month. It's much harder. I posted something on social media this morning. The first steps to this, it's like on your financial side. The first step to having your let's say the saving your first million rupees, it's much harder than actually when you understand the process of how doing it. Then it becomes you've solved so many problems, and you've faced so much adversity, and you understand that now it becomes something that you master already. It's easy. It's the same for fitness. You just have to understand that you won't lose. Your health indicators will eventually say, like, I mean, you've been on holidays for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You've take it easy, and it's fine. You're back to
So you're back
to your normal
back to your
routine.
program.
It's going to take a couple of days. Of course, the first few trainings are going to be a little bit more painful, but then back to normal. Your body is really intelligent and understands that everything you've worked for, you've built, is not going to disappear within this short time frame.
Given all of your experience that you've had in your career so far, could you give our listeners like one or two pieces of advice that you find really important in cultivating happiness within themselves? Something like a daily thing that you would really recommend for them to have happiness?
I would say taking time for yourself For me, it's been taking time for myself early in the morning, not grabbing my phone first thing when waking up. I would say having my daily routine, taking a shower. You know, you're not under any rush, you're not that stress, and you can actually take time. That's why I wake up early, I prep my food, I have my coffee, I take a shower, you know. This is a normal routine, like you have a bedtime routine. So some people like to read. Uh, it's taking time for yourself and kickstart your day the right way, and you decide. And some can include the training session in the morning. This is what I think one of the main component of staying happy, because you with all this hectic lifestyle that we have, having just 30-45 minutes just for you.
Yeah.
And it's very, very important.
I love that.
You need this self time.
Yeah.
Some people, of course, will take holidays. This is, of course, the same. You know, when you need to recharge your batteries and come back with a refreshed mindset. You know.
Yeah.
But on a daily basis, yeah. This
Okay.
is at least one of the things you can do.
One little follow-up question: how long does it take to start liking the workout kind of routine?
I would say normally I tell my clients that the first 2 or 3 weeks are going to be a bit kind of discomfort.
Yes.
The real discomfort is going to be there, but when you come from reading like a period of detraining, of layoff, complete layoff, not doing anything, and started exercising, the improvement is really fast. I mean, compared to where you started to where you're trying to get to, and you get used to it after a couple of weeks. Couple of weeks. And as a trainer, your goal is to try to motivate your clients and keep them on track. So making them do workouts that they like somehow, and keep it fun, push them and not too hard, and challenge them, or make them understand that, okay, well, if you want to reach to this point, you have to do this. This equals to that. And within a few weeks, it's fine. It's fine. They understand that it's not that hard. They were more making, the problem was more in their head, or actually having someone to be accountable to, or lacking any guidance. But when they have this, and they trust you for everything that you say, and they see the progress, inevitably they feel motivated, and they don't want to stop.
That's great.
Is there a particular combination or structure, formula that works in terms of how much cardio versus how much weights? Is there a sequence that you have to go through? What do you advocate?
So you can mix strength and conditioning work. Both are really important. The weight training, resistance training is what's going to keep your muscle healthy, and your bone structure and everything. And this is what shapes actually your body, okay? And from the conditioning side, the cardio, this is what keeps your heart working, and hold your health indicators at green, you know. So there's a combination of both that is important. Of course, it depends on your goals. I always try to mix it up. Some guys, they see some of the ladies I train, and they're like, "Wow, she's super strong." I mean, well, she's been training for 10 years. You don't need to compare to this. You have so much potential. You made so much progress like this last 3 months. Just stay in the game and focus on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can admire what he or she's doing, but don't be too harsh on yourself, because I mean, we all started somewhere. Even myself, I mean, we were not good. We've done so many mistakes, and we've tried sometimes on our own, no guidance.
Yeah.
We've learned the hard way, you know.
Yeah.
A coach is here to help you, and will But like I said, you know, you come to me for my expertise, and within 3 to 6 months, I'll help you progress with what you would possibly be achieve in 2 or 3 years, because I'm removing all the issues, and I'm giving you the right plan, and you have just to adapt and put the work, you know.
For those people that are after weight loss and they're
Yes.
going for fitness, I've heard someone say before that there's a theory that says that 75% is achieved through what you eat, the nutrition side, and only 25% or less is actually the fitness, the physical activities that you do. Do you agree with that?
This percentage ratio is kind of just random for me. Nutrition is key, because to lose body fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit, and it's somehow you have to start removing. I don't like to label bad food. There's no bad food. If you eat a certain amount of this type of food on a regular basis, then it becomes somehow bad.
Like carbs,
Yeah.
sugar. Yeah.
For someone like me who exercises regularly, I eat carbs every day. But maybe I'm just more picky on the type of carbs that I eat. But for sure, nutrition is a key component of losing weight and feeling good, and a main driver of your performance and mood and your motivation. And then, of course, the exercise, the calories expenditure, and comes from training. And the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest, you know. And of course, it improves your posture, your how you look, and makes your bone much like less injury prone. You're less prone to injury, like having, you know, the usual stuff that you have, reaching 35, 40, some back pains, knee pains, because of course you haven't been exercising, and your joints tend to remind you, well, maybe it's the time. Maybe you should start something even lighter, some just low impact exercise, cycling, swimming, and but I wouldn't say 75-25. Both are important. I have clients that have lost a lot of weight just by changing their nutritional habits, because of course it was so far off what someone should be doing, like drinking a lot, fast food every day, not prepping your food, water non-existent. They don't even drink water, and like soft drinks every day. Just by removing, just by not even changing, just removing some of this stuff, or reducing the consumption, they lost a lot of weight. But I mean, it all depends on the profile you have in front. For someone who just wants to lose a couple of kilos, to someone who wants to lose 20-25 kilos, it's different. It's different.
Yeah.
It's really, really interesting. And when you're talking about developing habits for children, say many of our listeners will have young kids, what age would you say it's acceptable to have, say we have a young son who's 13 years old and he's like already wanting to do weight training. Is this age group okay to start?
Definitely. I mean, kids, especially if there are some kids who go to high performance training schools because they have the abilities to become professional athletes, so they start early. Of course, the resistance training has to be in correlation to of course, if
Age appropriate and
of course, but
size.
the weight training doesn't stunt your growth. It's not is actually one of the safest sports. I mean, things to do compared to football or whatever, where the risk of injury is actually much higher. Strength training will help you to prevent being injured and build your overall strength and looking good. So the kids actually can start at any age. I have sometimes I train clients and I ask them to bring their kids, just to make the kids understand that what the parents are doing, and try to
Like
make
bring them in to it.
put them in this environment,
Yeah.
and and challenge themselves sometimes. You know, they are full of energy and they like trying stuff, and it builds their you know, their competitive mindset. And you know, when you're kids, you always like to try new stuff and challenge yourself. So it's really important to put them in this environment as from really early.
Yeah.
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 And you give the right habits from you as a parent for every day at home,
Yeah.
from what you eat to how you exercise. Your kids are really they are smart. They see what's happening, and they will benefit from all these habits
Yeah.
that you've shown them.
It's great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing your knowledge with us, with our audience. I'm sure they've learned a lot from you today.
Thank you very much for having me. I mean, it was a great pleasure.
Great.
And well, I hope that was insightful, and that you've been able to learn a few stuff as well.
Yeah.
Stay fit and be happy.
Stay fit, be happy, look young, not just for you, but for your everything that you need to do in your life, for your kids, and for yourself, for all the people around you. How you can impact them, how you can motivate them. Okay, you don't need to be a social media influencer with thousands of followers for people to listen to you. Okay, you show by the example. You show by example. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's great.
Great. Thank
Awesome.
you.